It was a beautiful Tuesday evening, and harvest was wrapping up in Sonoma County. I was in love, the kind that gives you butterflies and eager anticipation every time I got to see Steve. He was coming over tonight, even though he'd been up harvesting since midnight, and I'd already picked up the takeout sushi, knowing he'd probably be in bed early. When he arrived, he had brought a bottle of champagne with him. Now, this farmer didn't typically like bubbles, but he knew I loved them, and he had brought a 1990. It was rare, expensive. Automatically, I said, let's save it. Let's not have it tonight on a random Tuesday with edamame and a spicy tuna roll. But he insisted. So we opened it up, and it was delicious. It was perfect, even with its almost 30 years of age. We drank it, we took pictures with it, we toasted the sunset, we even saved the bottle. Life was good. Exactly 1 week later, I was standing in front of the remains of what was my home and my life. I had just finished a media interview. It was October 10th, 2017, and the Tubbs fire had just ravaged our community. A little piece of irony, as I looked out in the ashes, one of the only things I recognized was the frame of my treadmill that just the week before, yes, you can laugh, just the week before was my daily taunt, and there it was. I also saw so many broken bottles of wine that would never be consumed. It was in that moment that I was so thankful that just the week before, Steve and I hadn't waited to drink the good stuff. All too often, we put off enjoying our lives. Oh, I'll take that vacation when I have more time. Oh, I bought this great new outfit. I'll save it for a special occasion. I'm not going to bother my friends or family with a phone call. I don't really have anything new to share. Having a drink the good stuff attitude reminds you to enjoy life. But that doesn't mean that you can't also be thinking ahead to what is to come and plan for the future. In the aftermath of the 2017 wildfires, I had to stay busy. I had to keep moving forward. Instead of standing around and saying, why me? How did this happen? I pulled on another guiding principle that has shaped my professional and personal life for the last decade. What's next? What was next for me was over 70 media interviews in those first 2 weeks after the fires, sharing my story, the story of Sonoma County, the story of our farming community. It was a platform that I used to raise over $1 million for our local vineyard workforce and farm workers and their families who had been impacted by the fires. And as I started to heal just a little bit, I realized that when what's next is in the service to the community, we all reap the benefits. A granddaughter of 2 Midwest farming families, I spent early childhood summers on my grandparents' farm in Nebraska. I found great delight in chasing the pigs with my grandparents when they'd get out of the pen. I can still remember when my grandfather, I'd giggle when he'd wrap me up tight in this blanket, throw me over his shoulder, and take me down into the cellar when there was a tornado or thunderstorm threat. And I can still, to this day, remember the smell of that combination of the plastic seats that covered my grandmother's car and the hot coffee that we'd bring to my grandfather in the field. My childhoods were a delight. But as I got older, I realized my grandparents didn't really enjoy chasing the pigs when they got out of the pen. That was actually a symbol of just how hard they had to work. Those thunderstorms and tornadoes, that was actually a climate threat to their livelihood. And those plastic seats that adorned my grandmother's car, well, that was really a sign of what a modest living they were making from this farming way of life. But my grandpa, when he would take me into that tiny little Nebraska town with one gas station, one grocery store, and of course the local bar, he was a hero. And I was so proud of him. So it shouldn't have been a surprise that after my early days of my career striving for the corner office in some big company, that my roots came calling. And I ended up working for grape growers right here in Sonoma County. Farmers who, like my grandparents, rely on the land and don't really have jobs but livelihoods. It was in this role in 2013 that I first put up this slide, what's next? I'd been promoted for about 2 weeks into running the organization, and on a Saturday afternoon, one of my board members had emailed me, "Hey, Carissa, I had a thought. How would we get the governor of California to recognize our local grape growers as leaders in sustainability?" Oh yeah, sure, Saturday afternoon stuff, right? How do you figure that out? So I put a lunch on our calendar for about a week later, bought myself some time, and I started to think about it, leaders in sustainability. So when we finally sat down to talk, I was like, you know what? I haven't found any shortcuts. If we want to be leaders in sustainability, we actually have to commit to being leaders in sustainability, and we have to do the work. It can't be a talking point. There's not some shortcut out there. We're going to have to think about our entire business, triple bottom line, our impact on the environment, how we're running our businesses, our community, our workforce, and take it all in, and have accountability and transparency. So it was in 2013 at a board retreat that our board unanimously committed to being 100% certified sustainable in all of the Sonoma County vineyards. That was what's next. The following year, we wrote a 100-year business plan to preserve agriculture. 100 years, kind of crazy. How many out there? I can see your faces. How many out there have a 100-year business plan? 50 years, maybe? 20? 5? 1? Do you know what you're having for dinner? Okay. Right? It seems crazy, but when you think about an annual business plan, what are you doing? You're thinking about, how do I succeed this quarter? What do I invest in now? Maybe for the next 6 months. But that's not how our farmers think about their business. They're multi-generational family farmers. For them, thinking 100 years is grandparents to grandchildren. And they absolutely think about their investments and how they plan as what that impact is going to do for that next generation. That was what's next for us. The following year, our what's next was actually launching the Sonoma County Grape Growers Foundation to be leaders in social sustainability, to support our local workforce and their families. The following year, our what's next was actually taking an inspiration from the Aspen Institute, where they bring together leaders from around the country to help solve each other's business programs. So we launched the Sonoma County Center for Ag Sustainability, kind of a think tank with subject matter experts, again, from around this time of the world, who came right here to Sonoma County to help our local grape growers, our local farmers, think about their business challenges and solve their problems and work together on that. The following year, our what's next was actually working with our winery partners to have a label that would go on their bottle of wine showcasing that the grapes were made sustainably. In 2019, we hit 99% certified sustainable in all of our vineyards. Thank you. And that was a huge deal. But we didn't stop. Instead, we said, what are we going to do next? And at that time, we said, we now need to really focus on the impact of climate and how our local farmers can do our part. So in 2020, we became the first exclusive pilot partner for a climate adaptation certification program, the first of its kind for agriculture. And over the last couple of years, we've been learning how our farmers can play this big role and be part of the movement in this global climate crisis. We've used the last 18 months, frankly, to rethink everything. So using sustainability and climate as our guide, we said, what do we do next? And it was that inspiration that led us to envision the Farm of the Future, a pioneering initiative that helped optimize all of our practices to support climate adaptation while leveraging innovation, technology, but also recognizing that each year our farmers face unique conditions, a unique dance with Mother Nature. She throws something at them that they weren't expecting, this year a drought, and that they needed to have a program that provided some flexibility. So this program took into account marketplace conditions, community conditions, culture, labor, climate, all of these things that were happening to help them every year do their best. So there's no perfect solution to these challenges that we face, but there's certainly a way to optimize your practices and also to continuously improve. It was this vision that inspired and attracted a first-of-its-kind collaboration with Ford Pro, where right here in Sonoma County, our grape growers would be a case study, a living lab for the world to show and see how we could actually manage our fleets and optimize our fleets, as well as go electric on our ranches. So why does any of that matter? Why is what's next the thing? Why is that the game changer? Why not just do better? Well, when you do better, you might improve, but you're never going to transform. And you're never going to be able to open your mind and your door to the art of what's possible. That's what what's next gives you. So our grape growing community and our farming community, they didn't just emerge or reemerge from the wildfires, but every year they have to learn how to do that unique dance with Mother Nature and emerge again. And the innovation, the thought leadership, the sustainability commitment, that stake in the ground that they made almost a decade ago has been a compass to not only help them emerge every year, but be prepared when the crisis does happen. Sustainability and climate leadership are now the core of our business. They're at the heart of the Sonoma County Wine Grower brand, our DNA, what we do, what we think, how we promote the county and the community and the region. And it is that thinking that has really made us the most sustainable wine-growing region in the world. And yes, the accolades are nice, and we like the recognition, but most importantly, it has helped our farmers understand how they can continuously adapt to climate. It has helped us have a safety net in place for our workforce, and it has helped us have a learned and practiced behavior of adaptation. This what's next sustainability leadership attitude has made us leaders and continues to push our thinking. But even though you're looking ahead, you can still enjoy a drink the good stuff mindset. Because every day while you choose to enjoy those little things, you're filling up your heart, you're filling up your soul, and it replenishes you for when the challenge does come. And we know the challenge will always come. So what's next gives you the direction, and drink the good stuff helps you enjoy every step as you head down your journey. So let me leave you with some final thoughts and a few questions. So I'm looking for some participation here. All right, how many of you have some item of clothing in your closet with a tag on it still? You haven't worn it, and I'm seeing some of you are lying to me. Okay, that's fine. So I'm out here first, getting the audience warmed up. All right, how many of you are waiting to take a vacation? Yeah. How many, I'm talking to the women in the audience now, how many of you have this beautiful purse and it's in a little bag that protects it and you never take it out? You're saving it. How many of you have bottles of wine out there you're saving for a special occasion, that perfect dinner, that perfect evening night? Oh, now I know my Sonoma County wine audience. Yes, thank you. All the hands are up. I hope they're Sonoma County wine. So today's the day. Tonight's the night. Go home, rip off some tags, get the fancy purse out, rip some corks. It's time. As for me, well, my board has replaced their groans with mostly enthusiasm when they now see this slide, what's next, appear in a board meeting. Governor Brown did recognize our local grape growers as leaders in sustainability. In 2016, we won the Governor's Economic and Environmental Leadership Award for the state of California. I still get excited when I drive around the county and I see those Sonoma County sustainable signs in our vineyards. They now adorn almost 2,000 vineyards. And I'm as proud of our local grape growers as I was when I would hold my grandpa's hand in front of the local gas station in that tiny Nebraska town almost 40 years ago. Steve and I are now happily married. And we drink our best wines on Tuesday nights. Sonoma County, of course. So plan for what's next and drink your good stuff today.